and sort of the morality behind it, whether it's an invasion of privacy or not. First, I want to start by introducing everybody. My name is Zach. I'm going to be hosting today, and if you guys just want to go down the line and introduce yourselves.
Hello. My name is Cesar now.
Hi, my name is Kira Cummins.
Hi, my name is Brandon Amos.
Okay, awesome. And so, just to start out, guys, let's just dive into this with some initial thoughts. Just a quick, short overview of what you guys think about facial recognition and sort of the issue of privacy with it.
I'll start. Facial recognition violates our right to privacy. There have been many articles, court cases about whether or not it's legal to use facial recognition, especially without someone's consent.
I'll pick up from there. I believe that facial recognition is very essential and needed. I say that because it can be used to protect us from identity theft, and it reduces the risk of crimes happening.
Well, for me, my initial thought on this is that facial recognition could pose a threat to our privacy and human rights, especially when we're being profiled and surveilled.
All good points, and it seems like we have some different ideas about it here. So let's to kind of delve into that. First, let's start with talking about how is this being used? What sort of companies are implementing this? What government regulations are put on it? Things like that. How is facial recognition being used? Kira, we can start with you again if you want.
Yeah, I think a lot of different people use facial recognition. I know the one that is most commonly thought of is the police and the government, but it's also stores like Target using facial recognition to track people shoplifting and other like companies like that.
Yeah, great. So how does this help the public? And what sort of dangers are there that we can address? And are those dangers, in your opinion, worth it in order to keep people safe, or what have you? Brandon, if you can kick this one off if you want. I think we're having a little trouble hearing Brandon. So Kira, maybe you want to start, and Brandon, just make sure your mic is unmuted and stuff like that. So Kira, maybe you want to go ahead.
I think it's definitely a violation of privacy because if you go like grocery shopping or places like that, you don't expect to have them mapping your face and tracking you throughout the store and seeing if you're like shoplifting. And I know that stores like Target will use that to build a case against you instead of catching you in the store. But also having this in a database makes it easier for people to steal your identity because it's not something that can easily be changed. It's your face.
Mm-hmm. Cesar, did you have any follow-up thoughts on that?
For me, honestly, pretty much it can like help public locate people that they know, and like identify criminals, dangerous criminals. But sometimes facial recognition technology isn't really accurate and can like mistakenly misidentify someone.
Brandon, did you get your microphone figured out? I don't think we can hear you now. So just to follow up on those points, obviously I'm hearing it's not completely accurate, and there's a few shortcomings. So what kind of changes would you make that would make this technology acceptable, or what regulations would you put on it to make sure it's not invading a person's privacy?
I think that it definitely shouldn't be used by corporations. If anyone would be allowed to use it, it would be the police, but even then, it should only be in specific circumstances. Overall, I just think it's a violation of people's rights to use facial recognition, even in situations where it's the police or the government using it to protect other people.
Caesar, any thoughts on that?
So one change that to make it, more acceptable is to establish clear and consistent regulations at the federal and state levels to protect the privacy and human rights of individuals and groups affected by facial recognition technology.
All good points. All good points. So we lost Brandon here a little bit, but I just we're running out of time here. So do you guys have any closing thoughts? And just to speak for Brandon, I know he had done a lot of research on this too, and was sort of in support of facial recognition, saying that it lowers crime rate and citing different sources there. So I just wanted to mention that on Brandon's behalf, since he's having some technical problems. But yeah, do you guys have any closing thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, I think if we let people access facial recognition, it blurs the line of what's acceptable. If we give them access to it, are they able to access now DNA tests, fingerprints from iPhones, and everything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if facial recognition technology doesn't improve in the future, the consequences could get even worse. So maybe what we could do to prevent this is to educate people more about the benefits and risks of this, and so that can also spread more awareness about it.
All right, well, that's the time we have, guys. We're gonna have to wrap it up here, but thanks for your insights. And yeah, again, my name is Zach. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, it's okay.
I rejoined and I heard it come back. The voice came back. Then I was asking, I was like, "You guys can hear me?" But then you said no.
Guys, hello.
I don't know. I'm
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Listen, from the future, the camera's still rolling. Yeah? It's not time to call in the person who disappeared and work out the technical problems. Okay?
Sorry. I didn't know.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys. Okay, thank you. You can log out and I'll see you all on Thursday.
All right,
All right.
thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
There we are. Let me see. Who am I missing? Devin, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got a nice
Where's-
little work hoodie on. Looks like
I'll take it, but Devin beat you out. Okay.
He did.
Where is Jordan? Where's Jordan?
Jordan?
I'm not in the group.
Huh? Yeah, he came up. He's not in your group?
No.
I don't know what he's doing. Who's your fourth person?
It's me, Troy, and Jack.
Yeah, it's just a 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because we don't, unless Emily's in here and we don't know.
No, forget Emily. She's been signing up for my courses for about 2 years and she never shows up. So I expected this. I thought maybe it would be better this year, but anyway. All right. Where is,
Just watching you get a personal take.
where's Jack?
Where's Jack?
Why is Jordan there? I'm going to kick him out, kick Jordan out. And where's Jack?
Did he?
I'm texting him right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna. Even if he doesn't respond immediately, we're.
Oh, there he is. He's coming on.
Yeah.
There he
Awesome.
is. Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. So you can see me.
Yep.
You can see you. Let me tell you how this works. I'm going to try. There's a lag time. I tried to bring that music up for the last group about 3 or 4 seconds earlier. So I will take my cue from you guys. Here's what we'll do. Who's my host? Devin?
Yeah.
Okay. Devin, first of all, you got too much headroom. I want to see your face. I don't want to see the seal. Yep. Thank you. But I don't want to look up your nose, Troy. Go away. Thank you. Come a little back. Yeah. Come a little closer, Troy. You guys can figure that out. Okay. So I'm going to bring up the music. Once I go back into the green room, you can't see or hear me anymore. So I'll give you a cue. I'll ask you for 5, and then Devin's going to lead the show. Okay?
All right, let's do it.
Devin, you'll go. I will be, and let me show you how this works. I will be switching the views back and forth. Let me just try this. How do I go to a double? What does it say? Shift +3.
This is kind of like a CNN look, really.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't like this version of it as much as I like the original version, but I'll do my best to bring you guys in and out. And when you wrap up, and I'll listen for Devin to say, okay, that's all the time we have left and whatever. I'll just take your cue. I will try to bring up the music. Hopefully it works. And then think about it. And take a cue from what just happened with the last group. Did you see that?
Yeah.
A few minutes in it.
Yeah, cameras were still rolling. And then Zach.
He walked in. He walked in while it was still rolling.
Yeah, I kind of broke that
Yeah.
sense of reality. So, okay, very good. Devin, you're going to time it, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, I trust you. Excellent. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go away.
All right.
Give me 5. Let me look at this music thing. I'm not quite sure it's going to work. Oh. Bye.
Nope.
Hello, everyone. I am your host, Devin Jasso, and today we're going to talk about the final 4 teams left standing in the NFL playoffs after an eventful conference championship round. I'm here with my expert panelists here to give their takes on the future of these 4 franchises. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Jack Hall.
I'm Troy Keegan.
And guys, obviously, like I said, there was a very, very eventful conference championship weekend capped off last night. First off, we're going to start with the losers of the NFC Championship. We're going to start with the Lions. I want to ask you first, Jack. Is this season a one-off, an aberration, or is this a base for a strong future for Detroit football?
Devin, after watching the game yesterday, I really think the season, although it might seem like a setback with such a disappointing loss, and this franchise has been through a lot through numerous of years, this team has a strong foundation and could potentially, be bigger things for the Lions with a strong young core like Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams. And most importantly, Amon-Ra St. Brown. The Lions have never had a young team with a future like this. And although the coaching has made mistakes, if they learn from this, big things, bright things for the Lions in the future. I think this is not just a one-time deal.
Troy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have to agree with Jack here. Personally, I think that the Detroit Lions, this is probably the best future that they've had in years. It sucks, being up 21-7 at the half and then losing 34-31, especially in the NFC Conference Championship. Dan Campbell, in my opinion, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good fit for Detroit, but he made a lot of mistakes in that game, especially in that second half. And, props to him for taking responsibility for his actions. But right now, it's been multiple times over the season that he's made too many conservative play calls that have cost the team a game. And, like Jack said, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, a veteran QB in Jared Goff, I can go on and on and on about this roster. Aiden Hutchinson is probably going to be the face of the Detroit franchise. So honestly, this is not the end for the Detroit Lions, and it's going to go up from here.
So I want to ask you guys even further on the Detroit side of things. Obviously, you mentioned all of the young talent. Troy, you mentioned their veteran quarterback, Jared Goff. Is Goff the long-term answer at quarterback for Detroit, or are they going to have to pivot elsewhere soon in the near future?
Well, first off, his contract is immovable. There's not going to be, a team that's going to want to be interested in a guy like Jared Goff. When I personally believe he has maybe about 3 or 4 years left of a decent QB before he'll start to drop off. Honestly, this could be Jared Goff's team if he plays his cards right. And I think personally, if this continues, Jared Goff, he may become a great QB again. I mean, he was a great QB in Los Angeles until his final few years, until he was shipped off to Detroit for the face of the franchise in Detroit with Matthew Stafford. So, this is Jared Goff's team for now. And if he plays his cards right, it's going to be his team for a long time.
So we move on from the losers of the NFC bracket to the unexpected losers of the AFC bracket. Everything seemed like it was according to plan. This was going to be Baltimore's year, but once again they come up short with Lamar Jackson at the helm. So is the narrative of Lamar Jackson's playoff, or not lack thereof of Lamar Jackson's playoff success, an overblown topic, or is this deserved, especially after a loss like this?
I think it can go 50-50. His struggles, I think, in the playoffs don't entirely define his career. He's a great player. But it seems like this team for a while now has had a lack of discipline. For example, uncalled penalties. You can see numerous times on television them complaining on the sidelines, horrible body language. And these actions, they don't define Lamar Jackson's career, but they definitely need growth and, to solidify his playoff performances in the future. This needs to be changed for sure. I'm sure you guys were able to catch a good glimpse of the throwing helmets and the bleeding of the hands, and it's like they're children on the sideline, and they need to act like men.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jack here. I think it was a very, very undisciplined game here from the Baltimore Ravens, especially Roquan Smith at the end. If you're going to try to jump off sides, that's great. Like, honestly, it's better than go 1st and 10 than 1st and 5. But completely trucking an offensive lineman, especially when there's 2 minutes left, and you get a 15-yard penalty on top of that, it was completely unacceptable. It was completely, he took it way too far with that play. And on top of that, like you said, this team was mentally weak. Simple as that. All right. You had a chance to make it to the Super Bowl, especially with a guy like Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, in my opinion, disappears in the playoffs. The past 3 times he has been to the postseason, get these stats: 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 58% completion percentage. For a top QB in the league, that is just, he completely disappears. He's kind of like, when I'm a hockey buff history, he's kind of like Alexander Ovechkin, one of the best players in the league, simply can't get over the hill. And his team let him down big time. It was completely unacceptable for that game. The Chiefs didn't mess up. They kept their heads up, and they earned that win. Plain and simple.
Well, we're going to move from the loser side of the bracket to the winner side, and we're going to have to speed this up real quick, so I want you guys to get your points out quite quickly. First off, the AFC champions, the Chiefs, once again in the Super Bowl. If he's not already, does another Super Bowl victory solidify Mahomes as the official heir to the throne or the term GOAT?
Devin, I don't see why not. This victory puts Mahomes in the Super Bowl for the 2nd time in a row and the 4th time in his career, in his short career. Another Super Bowl victory for Mahomes would undoubtedly strengthen his claim to put him over the GOAT as Tom Brady with 6-7 Super Bowls. I just think, after being benched his first year and in such a short time to be, MVP and be in so many Super Bowls, why not? This guy is so young and have done so much in such a short amount of time. Not even Tom Brady did. That's all.
And Troy, I want to ask you real quickly. Is Mahomes the heir to the throne GOAT?
Oh, absolutely, no question. I mean, I don't think any QB in the league can be on the same level as him. If we were to look, at Patrick Mahomes again, second Super Bowl in a row. On top of that, he's got the best tight end in the league in Travis Kelsey. It's the heir to Brady and Gronk, Travis and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the NFL doesn't want to see it. Nobody in the NFL wants to see it, but you got to give them respect for it. And honestly, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, they ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So it looks like another dynasty in the NFL here in the 2000s. So honestly, with the Super Bowl win, honestly, he's going to Canton at the end of his career. Both of them are, even if they don't win a Super Bowl ever again. But at the end of the day, this just proves that Mahomes and Kelsey is the best combo in the league right now.
Well, guys, their opponents, the 49ers. I'd love to get to them, but unfortunately we are running out of time. So I want to thank both of you guys for coming on here and talking about this topic. Obviously, NFL playoffs is such a big deal at this time of the year, and it's such an important game. And, of course, it's held in Vegas, and there's all of these flashing lights. But at the end of the day, a football game will be played between two of the best teams in the NFL with two bright futures. Thank you guys both.
Of course, Devin.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us. Thank you.
Always.
Okay, cut. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Good job. All right. So I will see you guys on Thursday.
All right.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Facial recognition. Hello, Chadwick.
Okay. I was trying to get a better room before, but I wasn't able to. But
Yeah, that room's not the best.
yeah, I
Where
tried to
is
get it's in the library, the quiet room.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was like,
All right, gotta go. Gotta go.
yeah, because I had to be on campus real soon.
Hi, Steffi.
Cool.
And who? Let's see. You guys are.
We have Joanne signing in on Chrome because
Steffi? Okay, I can't
Yes.
hear. Okay, good. What StreamYard threw us off, so don't
Yes.
worry.
The Wi-Fi in here isn't the best either, and I know
Where
Mars.
are you?
I'm in the library. I'm like in my own
You should
like
be
a-
okay in the library.
It's been honestly, I was in Higgins Hall and my Wi-Fi was going out all day, so I don't know if it's something like
Really?
the
So I'm
school.
wondering, yeah.
I'm not too sure how the other students did the past 30 minutes, but it's in and
It wa-
out.
yeah, it was fine, and I'm in Higgins, so maybe that's what threw us off. So I'm going to get rid of the first Chadwick, and there's my second Chadwick. Very good. Chadwick, can you say something? No? Chadwick? You should hear me.
I'll see if I could.
Mars. Mars, can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Chadwick, can you not hear me? No, obviously not.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, who's that?
Hello?
Who's
Yeah.
speaking?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
She
Chadwick?
always having issues with her camera.
And we're missing Joe.
You can't do
Yeah,
that, guys.
she's
You gotta-
having issues with her camera.
Well, she should have checked that out beforehand. Now's not the time to do that.
Her Wi-Fi. Oh wait, no, Chadwick's Wi-Fi went out. Yeah, his Wi-Fi went out. He'll be joining back soon.
Okay, here he comes.
there
Okay,
he is.
Chadwick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, we
Where's
can wait a few.
Joe
We
as
can
well.
wait a few minutes for Joe.
Yeah. And then Joe, apparently her camera isn't working. But I think she said she
You
was
can't do that. You can't do that, right? Or you missed the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll talk about all these things.
She is also the host too, so that was the way
Yeah.
to guide us.
Oh,
And she said it's saying she doesn't have a camera.
Yeah, like
She
it was
doesn't have a
registering it
camera?
as. No, she does, but it's registering it as like she doesn't have a camera.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she told us.
So it's not really her fault. It's just
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah.
you know I'm still going to come down on her. You're the nicest people. I swear to God, WestCon has the nicest students I have ever met. But my job is to make sure you know what you're doing when you step out of these doors. So, all right, let's give her a minute. So let me tell you guys how this is going to work. Hopefully she'll come back. If not, you guys are going to have to improvise, and that'll be very interesting. Also, please note, this is a learning experience, yes? If you note the grading system, you get 10 points for this if you did your research, your pre-work. You're allowed to screw up like crazy on these things if it helps you learn. Yeah? Yeah? We like that. We like that. All right. So what I'm going to do, hopefully, is this still record? Let me just check Facebook. You are live. Let me check my channel. We are live. Very good. Hopefully, and you can't hear it, I forgot, and let me make a note to myself, do the brands. I'm going to try to play the music, which you cannot hear. So when I log out, give me 7 seconds to begin the show, whoever the host shall be. Okay? I will be playing music. And don't worry, I've been in these situations before on live television, and the audience doesn't know what's going on. So you just do your best, yeah?
I do have a question. I know you said prior, we can have like a little script like right next to us. So I have like a little Google Doc just to keep me a little bit on track. And I know we're supposed to be on a certain time limit and everything. I know it looks like Joanne is I'm not too sure what the situation is at the moment or anything. So does that mean like with somebody like me would need to step in as the host and try to
Yes,
direct?
Steffi, are you volunteering?
I probably, I mean, I have
Okay,
I have our
that's my
summer
girl.
script here. So, but I mean, I don't know how that will plan out since I'm
Can I
both.
can I answer you?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go live because we have to.
Oh, she's in.
Oh,
she's in.
okay.
Apparently, you
She's
need
in.
to add her.
Let me see.
Yeah.
There she is.
Perfect.
Hi,
Let's go.
sorry.
Hello.
Go.
Hi,
go.
sorry, thank you.
Scared the hell out of your teammates.
I started freaking out too.
All right. Okay, so listen up, guys. We're running late, so we've got to get this pony started. I'm sorry, Joanne, you're the host. When I drop out, and I'll tell you that I'm going to drop out, you won't see me anymore on the screen. You have to give me 7 seconds. I'm going to hopefully add music, which you cannot hear. And then it's your show for your 7 minutes, okay?
Okay, so how long between the music should I start? Like,
Don't worry, you can't hear the music. So, so when I say bye and I go down to the bottom and you can't see me on the screen, give yourself 7 seconds and then start the show.
Okay.
And at the very end, what you have to do, guys, is, and all through the thing, you don't know where the camera is looking. So do not like at the end go, oh, geez, I was under nothing. Just hang in there till I come on and cut it. Okay.
Sorry, my background had completely changed.
All right. We have to go. We have to go. We have to go.
All right.
Okay. All right, guys. Good luck. Let me find my music. Here it is.
Thank you.
Here it is. Let me see. All right. And I am out of here. Good luck. 7 seconds.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our program. I'm your host, Joanne Ortiz, and these are my guests. Today, we'll be talking about money and happiness. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, everyone. My name is Steffi Otero. I'm a writer based out of Danbury, Connecticut, and I currently work for Psychology Today.
Yes. My name is Chadwick Otto, and I am a CEO for Advanced Corporations out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Mars?
Okay, some technical difficulties, but back to Joanne.
We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you all for introducing yourselves. Many say more money equates to more problems and stress, while others say...
Hello, my name is Mars Muniz. I am a psychologist based out in New York.
We'll start over again. Thank you for introducing yourselves. Many say more money equates more problems and stress, while others say money is needed to be able to get what you want in order to provide happiness. I understand both sides, but I would like to know your viewpoints and thoughts on this topic. Steffi, I'll start with you. What do you think? Does money buy your happiness?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joanne. I do believe money does buy happiness. It does release some dopamine factors that gives you some sort of satisfaction, and it makes you in a feel-good mood as well. That being said, money does buy happiness. It is a temporary or a long-term tool that does.
Chadwick, what are your viewpoints on this topic?
Yes, so me personally, I do not think money buys happiness. According to the University of Bath, they did their own studies over time, and they've realized that basically money can seem to buy happiness up front, but that kind of past that point of, kind of past that point, within the relationship of between money and happiness, it kind of becomes very bland and doesn't really become as straight up and very, kind of confusing in a sense. So it's very lopsided, but definitely I lean way more towards money does buy happiness.
Steffi?
Speaking on that factor, through my upbringing, I did work a lot in retail. So I do see both sides of the story where sometimes money does or does not provide any sort of happiness. Though I would say, like a recent article in Forbes magazine, it does state that there are sometimes short-term and long-term goals when it comes to happiness. It does provide excitement and a atmosphere, well-being, and it's basically a tool that can help you. So whether you use it for traveling, hobbies, or anything, it does provide a sense of satisfaction. And I do think, coming from someone who has worked in retail for a while, it does provide that sort of dopamine factor, and I think it could benefit a lot of people regardless.
Okay, and then to kind of combat that argument in a sense, so I've been a CEO for the past about 15 years or so. And so I'm also like, over that time, I've attained a lot of wealth. I've gotten cars, I've gotten houses, I don't say that to bloat, but kind of just to say that, I've achieved a lot over, my course of my career so far. But even through that amount of wealth that I've attained, I still don't really find myself being happy a lot. Even I'm a father, I have 3 kids. And, although they make me happy, me personally, I just don't find myself really being, finding happiness out of, the money that I've attained and the items that I've gotten and, basically everything within that. So, yeah.
Steffi?
So with all of the wealth that you bring in, and since you're a father, and you're a family man, do you still see any form of the money and the wealth does provide any form of happiness, whether long term, short term? Do you feel like currently in today's state that you do feel that money is making your life better and providing what necessities it needs to come with?
Also, if you buy all these luxurious things and they don't buy you happiness, what's the point of you buying them?
That is a great question.
It's a very good question, Johanna.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a lot of the time I find myself just kind of, buying things that like I feel I would like, and I would even think before I buy them that it would make me happy. But I've noticed that even after I buy them, I'm still not in like the mental state to where I'm glad that I have them. I'm not really happy that I have the watches and whatnot, So, I mean, great question, but I would say that before, so I'm more so kind of like think you make me happy, but it really doesn't want to actually have them. So,
Okay, it was great hearing from both of you guys on this topic. Now, while we have a few seconds left, let's get to Mars. What's your position?
Me personally, I tend to see the truth in both sides. In my opinion, it all comes down to perspective. Because I think this question is different depending on what your situation is. So, like in the study you referenced earlier, Chadwick, if you read further into it, you'd realize that the study was very down the line and supported both sides of the argument, with like money buying you happiness and money not buying you happiness. Me personally, I think that it depends on how you were raised and like what type of situation you were in your life. So like the wealth of your family, your job, your career, all that. If your family, is very rich and they have like all the money in the world, there's not really a chance that money will actually buy you happiness. It won't affect you. Chances are it won't affect you mentally, but like if you're poor, grew up with humble beginnings, chances are that it will help you actually buy that happiness, and it will like make you more complete mentally. It also depends on if you're showing off the stuff, like you're being like very like you're showing off every rich thing that you got. And also it depends on your humble beginnings, basically. And that's what I got.
Okay.
All right, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you to my 3 wonderful guests for joining me today. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thanks so much for having me.
Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Okay, cut. Thank you very much, guys. So I have to throw you out now because the other group is waiting. So I'll see you all on Thursday.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Guys.
Good job. Good job.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm gonna leave.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Okay, so
Hi, how are you?
hey, Mateo. I see Ashley and Lewis. And
Not
do
present.
you have one more person?
Jordan.
Who is it?
Jordan.
Jordan was here before. Okay, what time are you supposed to start?
1:15.
1:15.
Was on the email.
Okay. All right, so if he comes in, don't be shocked. I'll add him to the stream. So here, so that you have enough time, who's your host?
I am.
Okay, Ashley, and you're, oh my God, I don't like this version of StreamYard as much as the others. So what I'm going to do is, you can see you've got your names up there. I'm going to pull in at times on the bottom. And which is your topic?
Rap and kids.
Rap and kids, very good. I have rap culture and kids. So that's going to come down on the bottom. See where your names are?
Mm-hmm.
So don't let it throw you. It's going to come down on the bottom occasionally. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to exit from the stage, and it'll put me down on the bottom in that green room where you guys were waiting before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your show. Give me 7 seconds from the time I say bye, so that I can bring up the music, and then I'll direct it as you see go between shot to shot. As you guys are doing it, you're the timekeepers. I'll take my cues. I'll listen to you. So at the very end, when you finish and you say bye, I'm going to bring up the music. Just hang on. You know, you don't want to like go, oh God, you know, it's terrible. Don't do that. You're on camera, okay? You're still on camera. So wait till I come back and join you.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Very good.
What about Jordan?
Jordan's got to show up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So if Jordan shows up, I'll add him to your show.
Do you just want us to start without him, and then if you
Absolutely.
just
That's the magic of television.
All right.
Okay. So you're doing rap. I will exit, and here he is. I will exit, and then give me 7. Okay. Here we go.
Good afternoon. I am your host, Ashley Sauls, and I am joined today by Jordan Simmons, Mateo Maturaba, and Luis Zapata. And today we will be discussing the genre of rap music and if the genre has a negative influence on children. So, a study done by the Parents Music Resource Center reveals that 45% of most popular rap albums released between the years of 2006 and 2016 had themes of violence and substance abuse. And 36% of parents believe that rap music as a whole, it has a negative influence on their children. So my first question is, what are your guys' initial thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the genre as a whole? Do you believe that it's true that there's a lot of violence exhibited in rap music?
Honestly, with today's, rap and then all this, violence going into the rap, I do believe that rap is influencing violence on kids. And I honestly think that, it's the numbers just rise and rise and rise and rise, and they keep going up more and more and more. And I mean, to be honest, I feel like, restrictions should be put on kids, especially parents, should restrict their children on listening to certain music until a certain age. And honestly, that it all just depends on, behavioral issues as well with kids. So,
George, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't, what you mentioned, the big thing that I definitely thought about that was the low percentage of, I believe it was 36%. I don't think it is. I think it's a low percentage. I think it's, about growth and age and, personally at home, having siblings, friends, wherever, I definitely think there's a lot of factors that can change and alter, but at the same time, it, like I said, it's an age thing, it's a maturity thing, it's how you look at it. I really don't see a huge issue with it.
Mateo, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I kind of sit in between the 2 points because, while there's a lot of music includes violent lyrics and themes, I think songs like that aren't really intended for children. In a sense, I think I think a lot of it also has to do with like how the environment one is growing up in, and
So to bounce off a point a couple of you made about the outside influences, my next question is, do you think that it's certain demographics that are more likely to be violent, exhibit violent acts through rap music, or do you think it's anyone can be influenced regardless of economic or background or community that they're in?
yeah, actually, honestly, I believe that it doesn't really matter like where you're from. It doesn't matter, your location. But I do believe to a point where, if the way that you're being raised, if you're being raised in a, neighborhood that, there is a lot of violence that also plays a part, to influence and motivate more violence on top of the rap music that's, influencing all this violence. But at the same time, anybody could be influenced, at the end of the day, the influence is the rap music itself. So yeah.
I think it can be done anywhere, like on the planet, everywhere, actually. I feel like everyone listens to rap music. I think it's a very big genre, especially for that age demographic and, around our age as well. I think that, anywhere on this planet, like I said originally, it's really an age maturity thing. Where you are, I don't really think it would matter as much. It can happen any place, anytime. It's spread throughout the youth. It really is. So, any day, like I said, anywhere on this planet, I think some places possibly, if you look at it on a statistical level, could possibly be a little bit worse. But in general, no, I think it's all across the board. I think it's a big thing.
Right. And my next question is about parental control mostly. So do you believe that parents should have a heavier hand in what their children are listening to, or do you believe that kind of infringes on like children's freedom and plays into issues with censorship overall?
Honestly, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, parents could definitely have restrictions over the children's choice of music. And honestly, should always be that option for children to clean versions or listen even, versions that don't include violence, or, artists should just make versions that don't include violence because of the fact that, a large group of listeners and viewers are children nowadays. You know, a lot of children are bound to listen to rap. You know, it's nothing you can do about it. You know, at the end of the day, it's easy access to, you know, listen to rap. You know, you got all these platforms and stuff, but parents should have that restriction over the kids and just kind of, you know, monitor them to make sure that, you know, listening to rap isn't the only thing that they're listening. If anything, more like, you know, listening to cleaner versions or listening to anything that doesn't really promote that violence, you know, that might lead to violence in the future or even the thought of violence.
Now, I heard you mention something about artists as well and how artists should be more cognizant. Do you agree with the argument that some would make that it's infringing on their right to express how they feel, or do you feel like they do have a responsibility as someone who's putting out art publicly?
Honestly, I believe that, you know, as a big influencer, and, you know, when you're an artist, you know, you have so much access to so many people in such an easy way that it's like you should also keep in mind that, you know, we're going to be kids. You know, the youth is the future. I've always, you know, remained on that, but it's something that, you know, artists should keep in mind, and most definitely something that, you know, they should kind of, you know, maneuver their way around this and just, you know, try to keep the violence out of it, but they can also express themselves in a way where, you know, it's not so violent. Of course, there's going to be artists that are violent, but, you know, it's just the way the world works, right?
Mateo and Jordan, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, I definitely do. You know, I like that question a lot. And I definitely think that, you know, the parental control and like the whole way of like artists out there creating their work. I mean, one of the things that I definitely looked at was, you know, you write music.
May I add something?
Yeah, of course.
What's up?
Yes. Oh, you go first.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you know, it lets you out your emotions, lets out your feelings. You know, I don't think it really, because I find it like a way, especially throughout the last several years, you know, with the pandemic and especially the youth having a lot more issues than typically adults have created and obtained. You know, I think it's definitely a way that they could let out their emotions and, you know, what's bottled up inside. You know, music is a very big therapeutic thing. I think it's personally a big expressway. I don't write music personally, but definitely have seen it, you know, throughout friends in the past. But it's definitely a way, an outlook to like get out all that aggression, all that emotion, tell a story, tell someone what you're feeling. And sometimes it's not always easy to just speak it or text it or write it. You know, if they feel passionate and they like music, go for it. You know, the content can be controlled. So where you are, who you are, what you do, and what you write can all be controlled. They're all factors that can be controlled, just like a parent. Go put parental controls on it. It's still possible, but it's definitely a way for them to be able to express it. And I think without that expression, you know, you keep it bottled up. Because, you know, there's some people out there that just don't like to talk about it or whatever. So they will find that common outlet. And I think that's just one of the big, powerful things about it today.
Jordan, honestly, on you know, on that note, talking about expressing, I personally feel like when you are expressing, you know, maybe not to express everything through music, especially since that's such a big, you know, outlet for people to listen and view and you know, everything, things in that nature, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, maybe not everything should be expressed through music. It's definitely a way of expression to show all these expressions and kind of let everything out. But I do feel like maybe, you know, not everything should be put in music, if not more. You know, there's a bunch of different ways. A lot of people can't talk, and that's fine. But there's a bunch of different ways that are not going to have such a big influence on the youth and on people in general, to be honest. So yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap that up. You guys had some really great points, but we're gonna wrap it up because we were running low on time. So thank you both for coming in. It feels like I think we lost Mateo at some point there, but you guys had great points, and thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for tuning in. So
thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you guys to leave because the other group is waiting in the green room.
All right.
How do we
All
do?
right.
How do we do, Professor?
I'll tell you Thursday, and you'll tell me.
Okay, I'll see you
Okay.
Thursday then. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Bye. Okay. So Ian, Lisa, Tyler, and Vanessa. Okay, guys. So you caught a little glimpse of the other group, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. All right. So Tyler, you're the host. Here's how it's going to work, and everybody listen up. When I exit, like right now, you can see me on the stage. When I exit, I will go back to the green room, which was your waiting area. Give me 7 seconds, Tyler, before you start the show, because in those 7 seconds, I'm going to bring up the music. And then after 7, I'm going to bring them down. And then it's your show. You take it away. I'll switch over the different shots. At the very end, I will bring up the music when I hear you say that, show's over. Okay? Yeah?
Sounds
Now,
good.
Yeah, don't break until everything's over, until I come back on the stage. Yeah? Because the camera is, just imagine, the camera is always on you. You don't know when the camera's on. You don't know when the camera turns off. So when I come back, I'll tell you. Yeah? Other than that, you are live. Questions? Okay.
Nah, just nervous.
Can you hear me fine?
Okay. Here we go. Give me 7 after I disappear, and have a good show.
All right. Animal testing has been a subject of ethical debate. According to the Human Society International, about 115 million animals are used in scientific tests each year, raising awareness about this practice. To further debate this, I've gathered here with my guests, all of whom represent different points of view, will give various pieces of information on the subject. Hello, would you guys mind introducing yourselves?
Hi, I'm Visar. I'm a part of the Stanford Animal Research Committee. That's pretty much my background.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Dominguez. I am what I consider an animal rights activist, and I am 19 years old.
Hi, my name is Ian Gironda. I'm a student at Western Connecticut State, and I hope to, further the ethical debate of animal testing.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. So moving this discussion further, Visar, do you mind elaborating more on why you believe animal testing is crucial for medical advancements?
According to my research, it's very essential because animals are biologically very similar to humans. So to further test in these cures that we're constantly making up and constantly testing, it's essential that we test them on animals before humans.
All right. Vanessa, do you mind sharing your insight regarding that, regarding what Visar said?
Of course. Well, I agree that testing is definitely something important, and we should definitely consider that while we're looking at medical advancements. We also have to consider that animals and humans have different biological systems, right? So we have different metabolic rates, lifespans, biological structures, and having these testings done on animals could potentially lead to misleading information for humans.
To kind of elaborate on Vanessa's, point of view, her saying that animals have shorter lifespans, it's actually a a better thing for us humans because we get to see how the certain problem occurs throughout the whole lifespan in just a few years rather than waiting a whole human life.
Yeah, Visar, and I totally see your point. But at the same time, those drugs that we are testing on animals may not work the same way in humans, which goes back to my point and how it can be very misleading. An example I can even give you is there has been some testing on the drug. I believe it's called thalidomide. It is found to be safe when tested on animals, but once it was tested on impregnated women, it led to certain birth defects in the children they were carrying. So we also have to consider the fact, like I said before, that we have different biological structures. So whatever we test on animals may
Did
not
she
have the
just
same
break
effect on
up, or is that
humans.
me? Sorry, you just broke up like at the end. Can you
Oh.
repeat that, please?
Sorry, I just reiterated my point that because we have different biological structures, whatever we test on animals may not have the same effect that it does on humans.
Yeah, and that's fair, but that's just the price that comes with testing, going back to that, I according to my research, mice share more than 98% of DNA that humans do. So a lot of the testing being done on mice is pretty, similar to what could happen to the human.
Of course, and while
Right,
it is
right.
similar, it is also completely not the same. There's still that lack of 2% that we're talking about. And it's not only that they're just mice, they're also like animals as well. So we have to consider the fact that they're living, breathing beings the same way humans are.
Well,
So
we should
thanks,
stick-
Vanessa. Coming to an agreement can be difficult. So, but after understanding both your sides of the argument, Ian, do you mind thinking about how to create a balance of these practices in regarding animal testing?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tyler. So I absolutely see both sides of the debate for Visar and for Vanessa. Being that mice among other animals have the 98% similarity to human DNA, like there is a lot of value in animal testing. Well, obviously with Vanessa's points, especially with the medicine mistakes me, but regarding the medicine that didn't respond the same to the pregnant woman as the tested animal, there obviously are some lack of knowledge or like missing pieces. Well, science is in part a puzzle, if you will. I do think that with further testing and further study, there could be a filled gap, if you will. But that being said, there are still ethics that we have to follow, guidelines, and me being just a college student, I mean, you guys have more knowledge than I do, but I would say that there should be like almost a higher power within this field. There should be some sort of committee, because there is committees for like the United States and the EU, for instance. But there's nothing that's like more international aside from the WHO, which is very broad in comparison to what we're looking at. But yeah, I just think there should be, a more intellectually gifted,
right.
group to deal with this kind of nature matter.
Okay. With that, let's drag our attention towards like the bigger picture here. So, Visar, you discuss here why animal testing is crucial in medical research. However, others may argue regarding its ethics. How do you respond to those concerns?
Well, according to my research, there hasn't been, kind of an alternative. So it's either you pick animals or you pick humans. And in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree, I think that animals are, I don't want to say less important, but I don't know how else to put it.
Vanessa, do you mind sharing some circumstance regarding when there's been an unethical or failed testing?
I would actually like to go to the point that Visar made just now about how there haven't been many alternatives according to his research. But according to my research, there have been at least 3 different kinds of testings that are alternative to testing on animals. One that I can name specifically is in vitro testing. That is basically where it gives us more accurate results since we're testing on the human cells directly in a petri dish. It gives us more accurate and relevant data compared to testing on the actual animal's DNA.
Going back to that, I was more talking transplants, which is what they perform on human-like bodies, and it's, yes, you can make replicas and dummies, if you would say, but it's just not the same with everything going on in the human body. It would never be the same.
Okay. So regarding this matter, Ian, are there any ethical guidelines that should be established for how animal testing should or should not be conducted? And if possible, can you comment on the effects of following both?
Can you please restate the question? I'm sorry, I broke up
Yeah,
there.
sure. So are there any like ethical guidelines that you think should be established or how animal testing should or should not be conducted? And if possible, can you comment on the effects of if you were to follow both?
I mean, absolutely. They're how do I phrase this? Like, animals are alive, so yes, you have to like. There's a stature of things that you have to maintain, whether it is well-being or just a basic. I'm sorry, it's
okay. So everyone, with the technological advancements and further discoveries in medical research, where do you envision the future of medical research heading?
I definitely do think that within science advancements that we can further bring our research to something else other than animals. But as of right now, I think it's absolutely essential because it has done so many good things for us, and I don't see these advancements, being used heavily as the animals are used.
Vanessa?
Well, like we look at every situation, any controversial topic, there's always going to be pros and cons. And especially with this topic, we're mostly focusing on ethical or unethical and if it's really necessary or not. And when it comes to technological advancements in medicine, we have the technology to move forward with more updated ways of finding medical treatments for humans. And I think if we just leave animals behind and start moving forward with our technology, I believe that we can stop medical issues happening before it even begins. And that just all starts with leaving one thing behind and moving on to another.
So with what you just said, so are there any alternative methods that you can find promising and effective regarding animal testing?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before with the other 3, the in vitro testing seems to be proven very likely to work with humans. It's like I said, I know Visar mentioned that it's not exactly a human copy, like exact, but it is, again, close enough to where your argument before was saying how animals are 98% close enough. Imagine a human copy that is close enough. That would definitely help us for sure.
Yeah, and that's a fair point, but all science is just trial and error. So if they are pushing to work for that, I'm all for it. But as of right now, I think it's still essential that animals are further tested on.
Okay. Ian, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, going forward in the future, like what I believe, should be, and always should be, is just having the right guidelines. Like both points from Visar and Vanessa again were good in their own right, but like no matter which way you go, you still need to have the right guidelines in place for like a stable environment for practical animal testing. Like the advancement, excuse me, the advancements in knowledge that we get from either method that you guys had said, you know, are great, but you still need to have the guidelines in order to, you know, yeah, sorry.
Okay, don't worry. Okay, with that, okay, everyone, with the technological advancements and stuff. Well, thank you everyone for your insights regarding this controversial topic here. Thank you all for being a part of the audience as well to our discussion. Until next time, have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, cut. Thank you.
I said the wrong line.
No, not me.
I was reading the wrong
Wait, I was
line.
like, wait, you're reading the same.
I was reading the wrong line by accident. Oh, my
Okay,
bad.
guys. Very good. I will save these and I will see you Thursday. Okay.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.